Good morning and welcome to Lollipop's Sourdough Kitchen. I have my recipe in front of me, so I'm going to keep looking up there. What we're going to start with is water and starter. So we use 100 grams of starter, which I have lots in here. It's good and bubbly. So we're going to just put it directly on the bowl. I've got my scale. Do 100 grams of starter, which is usually about that much, 10 more. Here's 100 grams of starter. I have plenty of uses for the leftover starter. I've been making French bread lately. So good. So 100 grams of starter, 350 grams of water. They say filtered water, but I just use sink water and it works just fine. So 350 in the scale there. Do it right from the tap. I like to make it room temperature. Okay. I went a little bit over, but I don't care. It's 363. Close enough. And so I mix the starter and water. You can see what it looks like right now. Just get it real blended well. And then I add the flour, which is 500 grams. So zero out my scale. Go to 500 or 0, and then add 500 grams of bread flour. I'm going to do all of this. Ooh, there we go. Wow, I made it right to 500. And then you add 10 grams of salt. Zero it out. 10 grams of salt. There we go. And then we blend all that with our fancy sourdough whisk. Let me show you how it looks right now. So that's a rough blend. I'll blend it harder with 2 hands. I hope you're having a beautiful day. It's gorgeous weather here right now. It's 9:20 a.m. and it's probably 71 degrees outside, I'm guessing. Okay, so I have a shaggy dough here, like this, and I'm going to knead it with my hands now, just to make a ball that has all of the flour incorporated into it. I'm just doing 1 loaf today, just to do this video, and I don't have any classic sourdough in my fridge. Right now all of my sourdough is sandwich bread, which is what we use the most of, but it's so good. It's spongy and moist and soft. But this is better for like toast with eggs. It's just got that classic sourdough flavor. Pause here. Okay, now that I'm all out of breath, it's mixed. You should be able to see it like this. I had to add a little more water throughout. I think I put a little bit too little water in there, but this is the texture you want when you're done mixing those first few ingredients. Now I'm going to cover it. I'm going to actually put it in the microwave or the oven with the oven light on, so it warms up a little bit, because my house is a little bit cold this morning and it's not gonna do what it needs to do. So I'm gonna put it in the oven with the oven light on for 30 minutes, and then we will do a stretch and fold. Okay, it's been 30 minutes. I'm gonna uncover it. This is what my dough looks like right now. I get my hands wet. This is gonna be the first of 4 stretch and folds. So stretch and fold, stretch Do this 4 times right here. Do 4 angles. Get each side. And then I like to flop the top onto the bottom. So it's rounded like that. And then I'm going to put it back in the oven with the oven light for 30 more minutes. And that will go for 4 rounds total. See you in a little bit. Alright, got my hands wet doing stretch and fold number 2. Now the dough looks like this. It's a little bit more sourdoughy. It starts to get fun at this point. The folds on the bottom, cover it, and sit again. 30 more minutes. Okay, we're on to our 3rd stretch and fold. Sourdough is doing its thing. Wet hands. This is what we got now. Look at this. Ooh! This is gonna be a good one. They say to actually do coil folds at this point, which is basically put your 2 hands under right in the middle. For 1 loaf, it's kind of hard to do it though. You want it to stretch on either side of your hands. And then you rotate your hands, pull it another way. And then you tuck under the folded edges and have that be on the bottom. Just like that. Cover for another 30 minutes. Okay, this is our 4th and final stretch and fold. We could do coil fold on this one. See how ooey gooey, fresh and fruity it is. So we'll go down this way and then pick it up sideways. After this point, you're going to leave it for the bulk fermentation for 3 to 8 hours, depending on the heat of your house.
I love her sourdough. You should try it for everyone.
If your house is good and warm, it'll probably take, I'm gonna guess, like 4 hours.
No, probably 6. No, 3.
We'll see. Have fun. I'll let you see the final product. Good morning. Okay, so I forgot to show you that last bowl of 1 recipe. So here's my 6 recipe bowl. A little bit more, but same idea. The same recipe. You just take the plastic off. I let this one ferment overnight, so it's a little extra big today. But I kind of sprinkle some flour on the top, just so it doesn't stick to anything. And then I flour the surface I'm working with. Use this little handy tool to separate it from the bowl a little bit. I do about 2 of these big amounts each week, and then there's enough for us and Mom. This part's fun. This tool makes sure that you have all of your goodies, you don't waste anything. Oh, it's heavy. Smells so good. Sourdough. Okay. So I'm going to separate it out into 6 chunks. a little more flour to the top, because if I let it ferment overnight, it's a little too sticky to work with. But that was the time frame I had this time, so we work with what we can do. I have all my baskets pre-floured. I forgot to move it around a little bit. You don't want that dough to stick to the basket while it's sitting in the fridge. I'll pause this. You don't have to watch all this. Okay, so now I'm going to separate it out. I'm really just eyeballing it. One. Pause it again. Okay, so this part is the shaping the dough. Super sticky. I know it'll still be good though. Just add some extra flour. Surface. So what you want to do is you want to stretch it out into a rectangle. You don't want to stretch it to the point where it tears though. I try to stretch it evenly. If you can see my rectangle here. And sometimes I flip it into thirds like this. And then I roll it. This is if I'm making one to put in the bread pan, so it's the right shape, and I have baskets that are shaped like that. So this one, I literally just pinch the ends to close it up basically, and then I flip it over into the basket. And then the other kind that I do, Michelle loves doing this one. It's a round shape. So again, I do the rectangle thing, but I shape it differently once I get to the rectangle. Now I'm going to take each end and tuck it right into the middle. And then I push down in the middle to hold it all together. All the way around. Then I flip it over. This one's going to be big. And then I shape it. Tuck and turn, tuck and turn. And this helps to get all the air bubbles out. Keep doing this for a while. Any air bubbles that I come across, I give them a little slap. That's fun. And you put it right into your round basket. Sometimes I have to pinch the top, but this is so sticky I don't have to do that. And I'm going to do that with the rest of them. Okay, they sat overnight and in the fridge. And then I preheated the oven to 500. I let it really, really warm up. This one was cooked in the loaf pan, and this one was cooked in the Dutch oven. It just changes the shape. I had them both shaped the same in the basket, but the Dutch oven naturally rounds them up. I cook them, if they're like a standard size loaf, I cook them for 20 minutes with the lid on and 20 minutes with the lid off. In the loaf pan, I just use parchment paper. In the Dutch oven, I use this cool contraption that's still very hot. Ooh. And I cover them with the lid for the 20 minutes and then without for 20 minutes, and this is how they turn out. Some people like them more toasty. I like them just golden brown.